Before I really hit on what I have to touch on, it's important in this season that we are mindful of what we hear. This year, especially 2021, be very cautious of what you hear. Whether in form of a sermon, whether in form of news, whatever it is, be cautious of what you hear. What you hear this year will produce certain realities in your life. If you want to talk about whether certain sicknesses are true or not, we can tell it from your life based on what you hear. You can be a testimony of whether there's the reality of COVID or not by what you hear. And you can be a testimony of whether it's possible to live that divine life in this year based on what you hear. What you hear it creates realities. It creates realities. Someone can just be there and then all of a sudden, the person gets to hear a certain information. The person is just happy, talking. All of a sudden, the person gets to hear information that someone probably is dead. All of a sudden, this person who is so happy becomes sad. Give the person a bit of time, the person might start crying, depending on how that information matters to the person. Give the person a bit of time, the person can become weak and sick. You didn't do anything to the person's body, you just told the person something. The nature of the information tampered with the person's body. You can have people, you can just see a lady especially, but guys as well, just seated there. Next thing the person gets a phone call. And when the person finishes, the person is crying. Because someone has told the person, I don't want again. The relationship is over. As simple as that word is, the relationship is over. The person starts crying, becomes weak, and becomes sick. I've seen people get sick because someone told them the relationship is over. Very sick. The person who said the relationship is over did not introduce a bacteria into their body, did not introduce a virus to their body. The person introduced a word into their body. And that word created a sickness in their body. What they had. There was a time there was this explosion at Atomic Junction. And when it happened, there was this young guy in the house who had gone out with a bicycle to go and buy something. Then the explosion happened. And people started running. This guy in size, he's very skinny. Melvin is skinny, but compared to that guy, he's fat. This guy was in a bike. When the explosion happened and people started running, this boy who is not that strong, he threw away the bike. Because he realized this is why he can't help him. He started running from Reese Junction all the way to Botre, Little Roses. We're wondering, so what has this guy got into? Only to get a call from Marshal Botre that this guy has arrived there. It was a sound that got to him. On his own, he wouldn't have had the strength to continually keep running. He heard the sound. It gave him a certain kind of strength. I was speaking to someone who used to barb my hair, and he said when the explosion happened, he's also around Reese Junction, he started running. He got to third gate before he remembered, wait, what of my sons? He said just as he was wondering, then he heard his sons calling him. How did you get here? They also heard the sound and started running. Ask these same people to run that race again. You see, they might not be able to go 200 meters with that same strength. But what they heard produced a reality. You want to know how real COVID is? Wait. Turn on your news and hear what people are hearing. You will know how real COVID will be. The virus does not need to be real. Just make the news real. Keep sounding it. Tell people you can have it even though you don't have symptoms. They will catch it. It's a reality. This year, be careful of what you hear. Because things are going to be announced to create realities. But for me, I will soak myself in what God is saying. It doesn't matter whether it's from the altar, because that's one of the places where falsehood will come. There's the media, but there's the pulpit. They all gather crowd. That is also where falsehood is going to come. Be careful how you hear. Can we rise up on our feet?